Please don't unsubscribe for me, man. Here, I know. You don't like this. I get it. I saw the analytics. People don't like this apparently. Although I also did a video where I bit my own arm on camera, and that video I lost 2 subs. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing clearly. But look, if you don't like something, let me know. Okay? Don't just go away and not tell me why you're going away. All right. Anyways, I'm not that worried. That's okay. If you're here, you want this. You want this content for some reason. Maybe you don't know why. Maybe you like suffering. Maybe you like hearing me go insane. I don't know. But hopefully I can make this a little bit entertaining for you. And yes, maybe, just maybe, this will be the last video in this series. I decided to read all 613 commandments because Texas thought, hey, let's put up all 10 commandments in every school in our state by fiat, just because we need to do that. And I don't think that they'll be successful, but they got it past their own thingy up, and now it's like kicked up to the next government level or whatever. And that's bad. But I say, you know what? 10 commandments, not enough. Let's do all 613. And all of these are ridiculous and silly and pointless, and you can't do many of them in today's day and age. And none of that stops any of it from being commanded supposedly from God. And that's the thing. All right, hold on a moment. Okay. You're wondering where I was for a moment there. Sorry, I was getting a pizza from the thing, and now I've got pizza. I've only wasted 2 minutes of your time. All right, let's do it. Let's finish this. Enough of the preamble. I was at 500 last time. Cushion's daughter who profaned herself shall not eat the holy things, or heave offering, nor of the beast, nor of the shoulder of the peace offering. Don't eat stuff. Those Koreans and their daughters and wives and stuff, they got a tough life. A woman after childbirth shall bring an offering when she's clean. Yeah, they had all these ideas about, after you have birth, of course, you're dirty for a while. They don't mean like dirty. They mean like, ew, like you're unclean. You can't enter the temple. You have to, I don't know what you have to do to be cleansed, but you have to do something, that the leper shall bring a sacrifice after he is cleansed. Now, leprosy, I don't know how common this was back then, but it must have been pretty common because there's lepers mentioned throughout. I don't know that having them bring a sacrifice, whether they're cleansed or not, is a good idea, given that you could catch leprosy from them, I think. I'm not really sure how it worked back then, but, it's a bad thing, and, it's not good. Let's see. It's very rare now, of course, and, God could have told them how to get rid of it, but it didn't. Must have had some reason. Anyways, a man having an issue shall bring the sacrifice after he's cleansed of his issue. What kind of issue, you wonder? His issue. I mean, do we really need to talk? Okay. All right. So, let's see. Okay. Any means for writing that the one with discharge has mounted shall be impure. Any of those who touch under him shall be impure until evening, and those who carry things shall wash their clothes, bathe in water, and remain impure until evening. All those who one with a discharge touches without having rinsed hands in water shall wash their clothes, bathe in water, and remain impure until evening. So we're talking about discharges. Now, what kind of discharge does a man have? I'm not sure how he's discharging while he's writing stuff. Maybe it's a different kind of discharge of some sort of medical condition. I don't know. They don't really clarify what kind of discharge here. Not even when you click on the thing. So who knows? Anyways, I mean, it sounds like sounds like the same sort of problem. A woman having an issue shall bring a sacrifice after she is cleansed of her issue. So again, this is all bodily function stuff. So a woman on her period, she's dirty, she gotta wait, be clean, blah blah blah. Bring a sacrifice after that. And so I guess if a man has a wet dream, he's supposed to bring a sacrifice after that. But I guess other discharges, again, it's not really clear. But certainly women will be bringing sacrifices more often than men unless they're having babies all the time. To observe on Yom Kippur, the service appointed for that day regarding the sacrifice, confession, sending away the scapegoat, etc. Yeah, the idea of scapegoat, that's where this came from. They had a goat that they put all the sins on and then they drove it away and it ran away. That was like the scapegoat, you know. So, don't slaughter beasts that is set apart for sacrifices outside of the sanctuary. Don't eat the flesh of the sacrifice that's been left over beyond the time appointed for its consumption. Don't sanctify blemished cattle for sacrifice on the altar. Very important stuff that you can't do anymore. Let's see. Every animal offered up shall be without blemish. Pretty much already said that, but we got to have another law because you guys are stupid, I guess. Not to inflict a blemish on the cattle set apart for sacrifice. Not to slaughter blemished cattle as a sacrifice. Not to burn the limbs of a blemished cattle upon the altar. Just say don't do anything with the blemished anything, okay? You're just repeating, oh, God. Not to sprinkle the blood of blemished cattle upon the altar. Man, that altar had to stink. Oh my God, it must have been disgusting. All this blood on it, all these burnt offerings on it. I don't know, it might have smelled like barbecue, but I suspect it didn't smell good. Not to offer up a blemished beast that comes from non-Israelites. Fuck those non-Israelites, man. The sacrifices of cattle can only take place when they're at least 8 days old. Gotta wait. Not to leave any flesh of the Thanksgiving offering until the morning. You gotta eat it all, man. Offer up the meal offering of the Omer on the morrow, the first day of the Passover, together with one lamb. Okay, counting of the Omer. This is like a whole separate thing that we got to learn about. Passover stuff. Okay, whatever. Not to eat any bread made of new grain before the Omer or Bailey has been offered up on the second day of Passover. Not to eat roasted grain and new produce before that time, like ever. Like, how far before the time are you not supposed to eat the roasted grain? Look, man, I might be hungry and I could use some roasted grain. So when am I allowed to eat this? Just said don't do it before that time. You got to, say Pacific, the day before? Anyway, don't eat the flesh of ears of new grain before that time. Just don't, leave the new grain alone, I guess. It's just the best way. To bring on the shalof loaves of bread together with the sacrifices, which are then offered up in connection with the loaves, just sacrificing food left and right, up and down. Some of the food is going to the pastor, some of the food is going into the altar to be burned. Some of the food is going to be eaten by everybody there. But there's all these things. Don't tell me that somebody's like, I'm taking this grain or whatever. How are you going to tell the difference between, new green and old green? I mean, really, I'm sure somebody was lazy about it. But if they were, they didn't say anything because they would have gotten stoned to death. Offer up an additional sacrifice on the Passover. Very important. One who vows to the Lord the monetary value of a person shall pay the amount appointed in the scriptural portion. All right. So again, if you own a slave, it's very important. If you vow that money of that slave to the Lord, then you have to do that in a certain way that's also talked about in the Bible, because it's totally fine with slavery, and anyone says that there is lying and wrong. Very important to God that you do that. So I just would think not to ever vow to God to do that if you want to avoid doing that. If a beast is exchanged for one that's been set apart as an offering, both become sacred. no exchanging beasts, basically. You buy one, get one sacred beast for free. Not to exchange a beast to set aside for a sacrifice. Wait a minute. Like if an offering is different than a sacrifice? I don't know. That one who vows to the Lord the monetary value of an unclean beast pays its value. So make sure the beast is freaking clean, man. Got to be careful, otherwise you're going to owe more money to the church. That one who vows the value of their house shall pay according to the principle of the Kohen. Don't vow anything, man. Why would you do that? I'm gonna vow my entire value of my house. The Kohen's like, I gotta go praise your house now, find out how much it's worth. You gotta pay up. Oh man, why did I vow that? That was a dumb idea. Anyways, the one who sanctifies to the Lord a portion of his field shall pay according to the estimation appointed in the scriptural portion. Why would you sanctify to the Lord any portion of your field? You need your field, not just for your family, but other people and your friends, your family. I mean, whoever you eat, whoever you feed. I don't know, man. Doesn't seem like a good idea to me. Not to transfer a beast set apart for sacrifice from one class of sacrifices to another. There's different tiers of sacrifices. This is that sacrifice. This is that. This is the I'm sorry that I was wrong about accusing my wife for having an affair sacrifice. This is the guilt offering sacrifice. This is the offering that I might have some sort of thing that I don't even know that I did offering sacrifice. You got I hope they were labeling these things or something to decide in regards to dedicated property as to which is sacred to the Lord and which belongs to the Kohen. Of course, the Kohen has to have some of that dedicated property. Which part's Lord's? Which part's you? Kohen, look, it's got a don't like being a Kohen, really hard job, not for everybody. Don't sell a field devoted to the Lord. Why would you devote any field to the Lord? Not to redeem a field devoted to the Lord. You just say that. Isn't that basically the same thing? To make confession before the Lord of any sin that one's committed when bringing a sacrifice and at other times. So just say, always make a confession to the Lord of your sins. Always. Just anytime. Whenever. Don't put olive oil on the meat offering of a woman suspected of adultery. Hey, we need that olive oil. Man, we're going to make a yummy food tonight. Hey, my wife, I think she committed adultery. I could be wrong, though. Let's not stone her to death. And she's not pregnant, so we're not going to check it. But I could be wrong. You know what? I take it back. Here's an offering for that. But we're not going to put olive oil on the meat because she is suspected of adultery. Until I figure that out, well, we got to keep this olive oil for ourselves. Don't put frankincense on it. Okay? Yeah, it's just don't. Keep that for other stuff. I don't know what frankincense smells like. Where do you get it these days? Can I buy some of that frankincense? Is it yummy to eat? I don't know. Offer up the regular sacrifices daily. Holy shit, every day. 2 lambs as burnt offerings. My God. No wonder why people turn to Christianity. You don't have to sacrifice 2 of your lambs every freaking day that are at least 8 years old. Don't know how that works out. My goodness. You gotta make sure your lambs are constantly turning out new lambs to fuck more lambs to have enough for maybe I'm reading it wrong, but I don't know. Offer up additional sacrifices every Shabbat. Fucking Shabbat. Offer up new additional sacrifices every new moon. Oh my God. Why not? To bring additional offering on the Sabbath. Why not? Just charge us for money, man. God needs your sacrifices and offerings. I don't know. There's a difference between an offering and a sacrifice. Offering goes to the rabbi or the kabbalah or whatever. To offer up additional sacrifice on Rosh or whatever. Offer up additional sacrifice on Yom Kippur. Offer up additional sacrifice on Sukkot. Offer up additional offering on Shemitah, which is a festival by itself. Oh my word. bring all offerings, whether obligatory or free will offerings, because why wouldn't you want to give more offerings? It's so much fun. On the first festival after those were incurred. Oh my God, I would not look forward to festivals. We got to sacrifice like most of our animals to the bloody church because God has demanded it. Now, after I've not, wow, I can't even say words anymore. Not to offer up sacrifices outside the sanctuary, only inside. That's where you can only do it inside there. So you can't do any of this today, I guess. I don't know. To offer all sacrifices in the sanctuary. You just said that. Why you guys got to repeat yourselves all the times? I got a question though, because you guys decided to clarify. What if it's half in and half out of the sanctuary? Does that mean half of it can be sacrificed, but the other half cannot? What if, like, while you're sacrificing it in the sanctuary, someone grabs it, runs out of the sanctuary with it? Can you bring it back in? Or is it now no longer allowed? What, I'm just asking questions. Redeemed cattle set apart for sacrifices, contracted, disqualifying blemishes, after which they may be eaten by anybody. So those cattle that got disqualified blemishes, they can be eaten by anyone. Oh, man, I'm hungry. That cow looks good. Is that cow fucking free of blemishes? Give me that stick, woman. Hey, Rabbi. Yeah, what's up? This cattle, it's got a blemish on it. Oh my God, it does. Looks like somebody hit it with a stick. Yeah, it's pretty weird blemish. I guess we're all gonna eat that. All right, hamburger time. Not to eat of unblemished firstly outside of Jerusalem. Okay, don't do that. Not to eat of the first. Don't eat the flesh of the burnt offering. So just don't enjoy holy things. I don't know. Whatever. The Kohen shall not eat the flesh of the sin offering or guilt offering outside the courtyard. Now, whatever. I don't care anymore. Not to eat the flesh of the sacrifices that are holy in minor degree, because you can have different degrees of holiness. Minor holiness, midway holiness, major holiness, super mega holy, ultra holy, holy level, and of course, holy to the infinite degree. I remember when I was Jewish, we'd be like, I'm holier than thou. I'm holier than thou plus one. I'm holier than thou plus infinity. Ha. Oh yeah, infinity plus one. Those arguments would go nowhere before the blood has been sprinkled on the altar. The Kohen shall not eat the first fruits before they are set down in the courtyard. To take trouble to bring sacrifices to the sanctuary from places outside the land of Israel. So it's not enough for you to bring sacrifice. Look, go outside of Israel. Yeah. Bring some stuff there to sacrifice. So how far outside of Israel do I have to go, though? Like, here's the border of Israel, right? Here's like the line that we drew on, in the dirt. And we said that's the land of Israel. It's right there, right? So if I just step 1 foot over it, hey, there you go. There's a plant. There you go. Well, you can't sacrifice plants. It always has to be animals. God doesn't like when you sacrifice plants. Not to eat the flesh of beasts set apart as sacrifices that have been rendered unfit to be offered up by deliberately infecting blemishes. Oh, no, they thought of my workaround. Wow, hey. Good job, Jews. I mean, God. Good job. You thought I was all set to hit cows with sticks so that we could all eat some yummy hamburger, but you figured it out. Of course, that's if you catch me inflicting the blemish. Don't work with cattle set apart for sacrifice. Don't shear beasts set apart for sacrifices. That just seems like a waste. You're gonna have this lamb. It's got some wool on it, but it's gonna be sacrificed. So wool and all. I mean, you could save the wool. Not to leave any portion of the festival offering brought on the 14th of Nisan unto the 3rd day. Man, these are some fucking crazy ass rules you got to keep track of. I don't know where the Nisan is. I don't know what how that works. I just imagine you're bringing so much stuff all the time, constantly. It's got to be a drag. Not to offer up a beast as a temporary blemish, not to bring sacrifices out of the hire of a hair lot, or the price of a dog. Apparently, a euphemism for sodomy. Okay, so don't bring the sacrifices from harlots or people that have had sodomy done. Not sure how you would know who that is, but don't do that. Read a portion prescribed on bringing the first fruits. Wow. I mean, there's a law, there's a commandment that you got to read about bringing the first fruits. Like, everybody already knows these commandments, but just make sure and don't forget to bring your first fruits. The 8 species. Spices? Wow. The 8 spices, that's what we're just going to say that now. Screw it. 8 spices of creeping things defiled by contact. That doesn't make sense. The 8 species of creeping things defiled by contact. Okay. Just 8 different species of creepy things. What creepy things? I don't know. Let's see. The following shall be impure from you among the things that swarm on the earth: the mole, the mouse, the great lizards of every variety, the gecko, the land crocodile, the lizard. Didn't you just say that? Oh, you said great lizards and then regular lizard, sand lizard, and chameleon. So don't touch them when they're dead. They'll be if you do, then you're going to be impure until evening. I'm not sure. You're not. Are you allowed to touch them when you're alive? Like, what if the crocodile is touching you? I don't know. Got some questions here that you're not answering. Foods become defiled by contact with unclean things. Of course it does. Of course it does. Anyone who touches the carcass of a beast that died of itself shall be unclean. I mean, so you see a dead beast there, just died. I don't know, died of a heart attack, whatever. So you don't touch it. Or if you do touch it, you're going to be unclean, making it very difficult to remove dead beasts. So you got to have like a whole person that's their job, and then they're seen as the unclean person. So you know what? Just hire a Gentile. Probably easier. That a lying-in woman is unclean like a menstruating woman in terms of uncleanliness. I don't even what you mean, a pregnant woman? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, it is. Woman in childbirth. Okay, so a woman in childbirth is just as unclean as a menstruating woman. Sure, why not? At childbirth. If she bears a male, she'll be impure for 7 days. She'll be impure at the time of her condition of menstrual separation. On the 8th day of the flesh, the foreskin shall be circumcised. Then she'll remain in a state of blood purification for 33 days. Don't touch any consecrated thing or enter the sanctuary until her period of purification is complete. If she bears a female, she is only impure for 2 weeks during her menstruation, and then she has to stay in a state of blood purification for 66 days. So double the amount of time if you get a daughter that you have to become pure, because screw women, I guess. I don't know. A leper is unclean and defiles. Well, I mean, duh. Again, why not just teach us how to cure leprosy, God? Yeah, then we won't have to deal with this problem. Oh well, let's talk about lepers some more. Lepers shall be universally recognized as such by the prescribed marks. So to all other unclean persons to declare themselves as such. I'm unclean! I touch you, you've got cooties now. You're unclean, and you're unclean, and you're unclean. Now what, suckers? Everybody's got to go clean themselves. Woohoo! Run in there with the pig that you're eating. No, I'm not eating some bacon. No, I'm so unclean. And I don't know, you're on your period, touching shit. Pretty sure they'll stun you to death for that, though. But it doesn't say you can't do that. So, that a leprous garment is unclean and defiles. Just don't let the lepers in. I don't know. Just an idea. Anybody that's a leper, get them some help. Of course, they don't know how to help them because God didn't tell them. The leper house defiles. Right. So, again, just stay away from them lepers. That a man having a running issue defiles. What's the running issue? You know what? I don't. What? I gotta find out. Discharge issuing from his member, he is impure. What? Okay, so again, I does that mean pee too? I don't know. Anyways, so the seed of compilation defiles. Sperm defile stuff. Stop jacking off all over. What are you doing, deconverted man? I'm defiling this. Blah. The purification from all kinds of defilement shall be effected by immersion in the waters of mikvah. That a menstruating woman is unclean, defiles others. A woman having a running issue defiles. To carry out the ordinance of the red heifer so that its ashes will always be available. Very important. Do that. A corpse defiles. Waters of separation defile who is clean and cleanse the unclean from pollution by a dead body. So, if you go into water, the waters of separation cleanse the unclean from pollution by a dead body. But if you go into those waters after you're clean, then those same waters defile you. So I got a question. At what point do those waters defile you? Because you get clean by going into the water, right? So you go into the water, now it's unclean. So you got to get the hell out of that water because now it's unclean. But now it's unclean. It's too late. You're unclean again. So you got to go into different water. And now that's unclean. Not to drove off the hair of the skull. What? To do what now? If the skull has not spread and no yellow hair has appeared on it, the skull does not appear to go deep. What the fuck are you talking about? Some sort of affection. Ew. The priest, if a man or woman has an affection on the head or the beard, the priest shall examine the affection. Why not get a doctor? If it appears to go deeper than the skin, there is yellow hair in it, the priest shall pronounce the person impure. It is a scald, a scaly eruption in the hair or beard. Seems like you need a dermatologist. But if the priest finds that the skull affection does not appear to go deeper than the skin, yet there is no black hair in it, the priest shall isolate the person with the skull affection for 7 days. On the 7th day, the priest will examine the affection. The skull is not spread and has no yellow hair appeared on it. The skull does not appear to go deeper than the skin. The person with the skull shall shave, but without shaving the skull, the priest shall isolate the person for another 7 days. Why not just treat the skull? Why didn't God just tell us how to treat this damn thing? Why? Why do you keep doing this? Just here's how to make some fucking soap. Yeah, a recipe for soap would solve a lot of these rules. Just, anyways. Procedure of cleaning leprosy, whether of a man or a horse, takes place when the cedar wood, hyssop, scarlet thread, 2 birds, and running water. Yeah, again, look. You know why you got leprosy all over the place? Because you guys don't know how to fucking keep clean. That's why. You're cleaning, to go in and out of the temple. You're cleaning here, cleaning there. You're considering certain water impure. Now, you are doing things that are a little bit smart, like isolating people that are sick from others. But the rabbi still was near that person. So they touched them. They should have washed their hands or had gloves on, but you didn't tell them about gloves or how to treat any of this stuff, God. You're kind of stupid. Lepers shall shave off all their hair, not to pluck out the marks of leprosy. God. Not to curse the ruler, that is, the king of the head of the college in the land of Israel. Fuck the king and the head of the college in the land of Israel. Screw you. Oh, you mean curse set a curse upon him? May you fall down and trip and hurt your knee. Head of college in the land of Israel, whoever the bleep that is. I'm going to look up whoever that is, so I can curse them just to break that commandment. To appoint a king, just do that. Just really important, appoint a king. Not to appoint as ruler over Israel one who comes from non-Israelites. Again, really racist. Fuck the non-Israelites. That the king shall not acquire an excess number of horses. How many is his excess number? I don't know. Don't do that though. King shall not take an excess number of wives. Good to know. He shall not accumulate an excess quantity of gold and silver. The king shall write a scroll of the Torah for himself in addition to the one that every person should write, so he writes two scrolls. Very important. And he fucking spends his time writing another scroll. Hey, you want to be king? No, not really. Why? I don't feel like writing another scroll. You're king. No. You get a bunch of gold. I don't care. You get a bunch of wives. That's just more problems, man. I gotta worry about every single wife and their cleanliness, and they gotta bring all these sacrifices. Oh my word. Oh. That a Nazarite shall not drink wine or anything mixed with wine, which tastes like wine, and even if this wine or mixture has turned sour, it's prohibited to him. So if you're a Nazarite, don't drink wine. Here's the problem I have with this. You've never drank wine, right? How do you know that something tastes like wine if you've never had wine? I don't know. Don't eat the flesh of grapes, though. Just stay away from them grapes. Don't eat dried grapes, raisins. Don't eat it. Don't eat the kernel of the grapes. Now, actually, pretty good idea. Don't eat the seed of anything. How about that? That would be a better idea because they contain arsenic. Anyways, don't eat the skin of the grape. Just say don't eat grapes. You pretty much said Nazarite shall not permit his hair to grow. Very important for your Nazarite. Don't cut your hair. Wait. How do you prevent your hair from growing if you can't cut it? Oh well. Hey, hair, stop growing. Don't enter any covered structure where there's a dead body. What are you doing? I'm just walking inside this house here. There's a fucking dead body in here. Oh, damn it. I gotta do an offering and shit. I don't know. That the Nazarite shall not defile himself for any dead person by being in presence of the corpse. What if they do? What happens then? I don't know. Nazarite shall shave his hair. Wait a minute. But they're not supposed to cut their hair, but then they shave their hair? Oh, man. I've seen some contradictions when they bring offsprings at the completion of the period of his Nazareneship, or within that period he has become defiled. Fucking whatever. I don't know. Whatever. It's just not that. Wars! Those that engage in warfare shall not fear their enemies, nor be panic-stricken by them during battle. Run away! Be brave. Don't be afraid. To anoint a special Kohen, to speak to the soldiers in a war. Damn it. To be in a permissive war, as distinguished from the obligatory ones. To observe the procedure prescribed in the Torah. Whatever. To keep alive any individual of the 7 Canaanite nations. Now, how do you know if they're Canaanite? There's got to be some way to identify them from that they know. I don't know. To exterminate the 7 Canaanite nations from the land of Israel. So don't keep any individual alive, okay? And then just to make sure that you understood what we're saying, exterminate the 7 Canaanite nations from the land of Israel. Also, don't keep anybody alive from the Canaanite nations. In other words, commit genocide on the Canaanites. Fuck the Canaanites. Don't know what they did to you, but fuck them. Don't destroy the fruit trees wantonly or in warfare. Just leave those trees alone. To deal with a beautiful woman taken captive in war in the manner prescribed by the Torah. Oh, we got to read more about that. Oh, we've got to read more about that. You will receive the midst of guilt for the blood of the ancestors in you. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so let me get this on screen because this is great. This is great. This is how to deal. This is how to do a battle, man. This is how to do a battle. When you, an Israelite warrior, take the field against your enemies, and your God delivers them into your power. In other words, they're your captives. And you take some of them captive. And you see among them a beautiful woman, and you desire her. You'll take her into your household as your wife. Hey, guess what? We just raped, pillaged, and killed your land, and just killed your husband over there. You look fine, baby. You're coming home with me. I don't wanna. Shut up. Bring her into your household. She'll trim her hair, pare her nails. Hey, trim your nails and your hair. No, I don't want to. Do it. And discard the captive's garb. Get naked. She shall spend a month's time in your household, lamenting her father and mother. After that, you may come to her and thus become her husband. She'll become your wife. Hey, guess what? You get a month off. You get a month's time to be sad about the fact that I killed your mom and dad. But after that, guess what? You're my wife. That's just how it is. You don't get a choice. If you don't want her, though, anymore, you can release her outright. But you can't sell her for money because you had your way with her. You can't enslave her. Anyway, so that's really important stuff from the Lord our God. If you capture somebody in war and they're a woman, they're hot, you desire them, you make them your slave basically by marrying them. Good times. But you don't sell them. This is really clear. Don't sell them. Don't sell the beautiful woman. The ugly woman, I don't know about them. But don't degrade them, okay, to the condition of a bondswoman. You know, again, don't sell them. Not to offer peace to the Amalekites and the Moabites before waging war on them, as should be done to other nations. So, before we go to war with these people, we're not going to offer them peace because it's kind of weird if you do that. Hey, you want some peace there, captive desk? All right, yeah, let's have some peace. Guess what? I'm going to war against you, but you just declared peace. Psych! I was just kidding. But don't do that for these guys. Just go to war on them. But other countries, other nations, yeah, sure, offer them peace. And then go to war with them, I guess. I don't know. Anyone who is unclean shall not enter the camp of the Levites. To have a place outside the camp for sanitary purposes, well, finally something good. Keep that place sanitary. Okay, also good. Always remember what Amalek did. I don't fucking know who the hell Amalek is. That the evil done to us by Amalek shall not be forgotten. Whatever the hell that was, don't forget it. I don't know what it is, so I can't forget it because I don't know. And then destroy the seed of Amalek. So, genocide, Amalek, that's the most important law. We saved it for last. That's it. I'm done. I hate all of this. I hate it. It sucked. Why did I think that was an idea? An idea. I thought it was an idea. It is an idea. Why did I think it was a good idea? I don't know that I thought it was a good idea. I thought it'd be funny, though. I'm not sure if it was. There you go. 613 commandments, all of which are completely and wholly irrelevant in today's day and age. I mean, and like some of them you can't do because the temple's not there. I don't know if I'm an Israelite or a Levi or whatever the bleep. Don't forget what that one tribe did to us, even though we genocided that people. We just keep on hating them indefinitely, even though there's no... Like, they did something to you. I don't know what, but they pissed you off. You killed them all, but then said, we're going to remember this forever. It'd be kind of like... Okay, it'd be kind of like, you know, the Nazis. Like, hey, them Jews, they did something to us. We don't like it. Wipe them all out. Hey, all right. Not only we wiped them all out. Good. And never forget what terrible, awful thing they did to us. Now, did the Jews do anything terrible and awful to the Nazis? No. But maybe the Nazis thought they did. You know, they blamed them for stuff. So that's basically what this is, but it's the Jews doing it. You know, just saying. I don't believe in karma, but, you know, I don't know. So here's an idea. How about this? How about forgiving them for whatever the hell they did? How about that? Instead of wiping them out, how about we just, we get away from them? How about you tell us how to cure leprosy and how to deal with all these cleanliness stuff with some soap and water and good hygiene routines? How about you teach us some ways to get along with other nations instead of killing them all the time? And there's all these pointless commands that God has wasted pen and paper on. How about you teach us some good ideas, ethics that we can follow? Anyone that says that the 10 Commandments belong in school, disregard all 613, needs to do what I just did. You need to read them all. You need to read them all out loud in the Senate, on TV. But I read the simplified version because that's what this website had. You're going to read the longer version from the Bible. Oh, yeah. The one that goes into deep detail about each commandment and how to do it. This was the simplified version. And I demand that there be a law that says if you want to put the 10 Commandments in any public space, you have to read out loud all 613 commandments in the Senate in Washington, D.C. Go there, you got to stand up, and you got to read them all verbatim. I don't care which version of the Bible you use, but you got to read them all. And then after you read them all, then you can go play. Then, if you still want to put up the 10 Commandments, you got to put up all 613 commandments. That's the law. That's my law. That's deconverted man's law. And I'm done now. Thank goodness. Never doing this again. Thanks for watching. Please don't unsubscribe. I promise there will be stuff that's not this. Never doing this again. Don't ask me to. But if anyone wants to know any of the commandments, you can send them these videos. They're all pretty stupid. Thanks for watching. Lobsters. My head hurts.